Hello, welcome to my relational advice vlog. My name is Abigail Jackson, and today I have a scenario that we're going to discuss about Jason and Mia. They are a couple in their late 20s and have been dating for a couple of years, and we are just going to discuss what's going on with them. I'm going to provide my advice through my own experience in my marriage, and also just some advice that I've done some research on. So let's get started. Okay, so we have our couple, Jason and Mia, and they are in their late 20s. They've been dating for 2 years, and recently Jason has felt that Mia is becoming distant, especially during their conversations. He often complains that she doesn't seem to care about what he says and that she zones out when he shares details about his workday. Mia, on the other hand, feels overwhelmed with her new job as a nurse and has been emotionally and physically exhausted. She doesn't intend to be dismissive, she simply is just struggling to keep up with everything going on in her life. Jason interprets her quietness and disinterest, while Mia sees Jason's complaints as a lack of empathy for her situation. Okay, so now that we have the scenario, I can say I have been through a scenario similar to this with my husband. Actually, just recently last year, we've been married for 2 years now, and have had a lot of life changes. We just welcomed a little baby of ours about a year ago. He's 18 months now, and in that time there was just a lot of changes going on. We both have jobs, we're both working parents, and it can be very stressful. I'm transitioning into becoming a teacher, and in that life it can be very struggling. So I can understand Mia's point of view when it comes to just trying to balance everything, especially being a nurse. There's so much with that job. But my best advice for Mia is I can tell she's physically exhausted and mentally exhausted. So the best thing I can say is that Mia needs that time to herself. She just needs a little bit of that decompression time, just some time to come home and just have a little bit of time to herself. Not dismissing Jason's feelings by any means. It's just, when we feel overwhelmed, when we feel that we have so much stacked on, we can't provide and we can't be there for our partners the way we want to be. I know I have felt that way before, and there were times my husband has also felt like Jason, where he felt like I wasn't really engaging or interacting in our conversations about his workday, and I can understand where Jason's coming from also. But the key thing to do is communication. These two really need to communicate their feelings. I don't know if Mia is fully communicating with Jason, just how she's feeling overwhelmed, how all these stressors in her life are just piling on top of her. So Mia needs to be honest with Jason, and Jason needs to start to recognize and needs to understand, hey, there's all these changes going on in Mia's life right now. She has a lot going on, and he just needs to be a little more receptive to that and a little more understanding when it comes to Mia's situation. Some of my research that I have included in here is about, I've done a lot of research on emotional intelligence, and emotional intelligence is the key in understanding and managing not just your own emotions, but others as well. So we see Mia's behavior is emotionally driven and not necessarily reflective on her feelings towards him. So it's just, again, the situation is tough. She's going through so much right now. And Jason's just kind of feeling not valued. He's not feeling like his emotions are being put into consideration. So again, communication is that big key word. We got to focus on communication. Another issue that is, like I said, is lacking is active listening. Rather than truly listening to Mia's verbal and nonverbal cues, Jason seems to be more preoccupied about how he's being unheard, how he is not being taken care of, and he needs, like, he's kind of being selfish in that way, I could see. But I mean, I also understand where he's coming from on the same token as well. So this situation altogether just shows miscommunication can occur when emotions are put into play here, and we aren't aware of what our emotions are, when we're not aware of that emotional intelligence, and we're not aware of like the verbal and nonverbal cues, like Jason really needed to focus in on like looking at Mia's nonverbal cues. Like, does she look tired? Does she look exhausted? Are you coming to her and trying to talk to her about your day when she just got out of work? Give her that time. And Mia can be receptive. Mia can be able to listen to Jason, at least I'm hoping, when she is recouped and revitalized and has her energy. So it does make it hard, but these two definitely need to just have some time together too, like put work on the side, find some time to just spend together so that both their feelings are heard. But again, communication is the big key here, and so is active listening, just listening to each other, making sure that everybody has that communication laid out and understood. So I was happy to be able to help and talk through the situation. Again, I've been through a situation similar to that, and me and my husband worked it out by just communicating with each other and taking that time just to spend, just the two of us. A date night can always help. And so I think that's something that this couple needs. So thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and have a great rest of the day.